All right, welcome everyone to the 11th Formula 1 Hungarian Grand Prix review on my stream and the YouTube channel. Now, if you don't know what's happening, pretty much every single Monday after a Grand Prix, we hop on the stream and also edit up into a YouTube video. We pretty much take a look at a bunch of videos, discuss a bunch from the Formula 1 Grand Prix weekend. We then do a Reddit recap, and then we check out F1 Fantasy and F1 Play. But we always started off with my live watch-along reactions from the stream. So let's start with those. All right, Ferrari best of the rest right now. Oh, no! Sainz, dude, you're in my team. No, I took Sainz out of my team. But red flag? Red flag? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? That's a premature red flag. This is interesting. What if Hamilton checks him up at the line and doesn't get his lap in? Lewis doing a bit of trolling. Is he allowed to do this? Would he be allowed to like hold up Max and not get their lap in? Perez might not get his lap in. Oh, wow. Perez didn't get his lap in. Wow. Red Bull are going to be so salty at that. Norris beats all of them. Oh my God. That's tight. Look at those guys, man. Hamilton, great start. Bottas bogged down. Max into P2 already. Perez P3. Lando, did he just hit Bottas' wing? Oh, Bottas. Oh, no. Holy shit. Everyone's crashed. Everyone's down. Alonso's in a P2. Alonso's in P2. Oh, my Lord. Max, Lando, Charles, Perez, Bottas, Gasly all got damage right now. Oh, my God. Bottas has ruined it. Bottas has locked up and taken out Max Verstappen. Everyone was coming to my chat saying there's going to be a first lap crash, and there was. But it wasn't between Lewis and Max. Oh, my Lord. This is going to be a very interesting race now. My team is completely in the bin. I think every driver I picked is out of the race. I picked Max. I picked Leclerc. I picked Lando. I picked Bottas. My team's in the bin. My team's actually in the bin. I'm about to get negative like 200 points. Yeah, Bottas spun, hit Lando. Lando hits Max. Bottas hits Perez. Oh, Gasly didn't get damage. Let's see what happened to Leclerc here. Who was Leclerc's fault? Oh my God, it's the Aston Martin sending up the inside. What is he doing? What is it? What's that Aston Martin doing? I don't know about you guys, but do you think the Grand Prix would have been more entertaining with these guys in the race or out of it? And Lewis gets away with it. Oh my Lord. How did Perez get more clapped than Max? Perez's car got ruined from that? And Max's didn't? Holy shit. Wow, everyone's going to go in. Oh, Ocon's going in. Wow. Williams has got... No, Alpine. Ferrari. Who is it only going to be? Hamilton? Verstappen spinning? It's only Lewis. It's only Lewis. Oh my God, it's only Lewis. Lewis is the only one going to the grid. Oh my Lord. Oh no, Lewis and... Schumacher. No, it's the safety car. Lewis is the only one. No, this is going to work out for Lewis because they're all going to pile up in the pit lane. It's going to take them so long. Okay, lights are going. Lewis all by himself. Lights out. And away we go. Oh my God. Let's go, Lewis. Let's go. Who's out first? Who's out first? Williams. Russell and P2. Let's go. Gasly drops so many. So is Sainz. Oh my God, Sainz. Oh, Russell's already caught Lewis. Okay, this was amazing. Amazing. Lewis, Big L. This is going to be fantastic Grand Prix now. We've got Lewis and Max doing a reverse grid, essentially. Russell going to be leading a Grand Prix. Holy fuck. Oh my God. This is Formula 1 for you, dude. No, what the hell's happening? Oh my God. This can't be real. This can't be real. What the fuck's happening? Holy shit. Lewis comes out dead last. Last to first challenge right now. Oh my Lord. You can't make this up. So what happened to Mazepin? Oh my God. He retired in the pit lane. Gunter smash desk, man. Oh, he hasn't got the grip though. Oh my God. Take out more of your barge board while you're at it. Holy shit. Oh, Alonso's locked up. Hamilton's battling. Oh, Alonso's gone out so wide. Alonso keeps the place though. Oh, don't tell me Lewis goes for it here. Oh, he backs out. He knows who he's fighting. Hamilton knows that he's fighting Alonso right now. Yeah, Alonso's doing a lot for Ocon right now. This is going to be another sick battle right now. Oh, he's going to get it done before the corner. Alonso squeeze him out. No. Oh, Alonso keeps going so deep. Alonso is doing bits for him right now. Hamilton's got the run. He backs out. Dude, Alonso helping my man Ocon out in front. Helping Sainz get a podium right now. This is insane defending from Alonso right now. Hamilton doesn't have a run. Oh my God. Hamilton's going to go for it this time, 100%. And Hamilton backs out again. Oh my God. Can we get a round of applause for Alonso, please? My man is showing why he deserves to be in Formula 1 right now. I doubted Alonso so hard at the start of the season. I said he's going to come back. He's going to be washed. And he's okay, that's exaggerating. He's delivering so well in this Alpine right now. Oh, Alonso's locked up. Hamilton's going to have the run. No. Go, Alonso, go. Alonso's around the outside. Yeah, he's not going to get that done. Wow, damn it. Well done, though. Well done, Alonso, for how long he defended for. Oh, come on. This is going to be interesting between Sainz and Hamilton now. Hamilton's so close to Sainz, but Sainz also has DRS. Hamilton's going to get it done here. Go, Sainz, go. He backed out. Well done, Lewis. Well done. Congrats to Alonso for holding him off for so long, though. I'm happy for Ocon. He's had a very tough season, and he deserves to prove himself with a win, defending off a 4-time world champion in arguably a same pace car. Oh, Hamilton's so close to Vettel. He won't get it done, though. One more lap. Hamilton probably had Vettel. Congratulations, Esteban Ocon. A new race winner in Formula 1. Vettel P2. And Hamilton comes home with a fantastic drive in the end for P3. Sainz getting fantastic points for Ferrari over McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. Alonso, my driver of the day. What a drive. Man, what a race. What a race it was. One of those Grand Prix where just absolute chaos happens and, you know, it has nothing to do with the track. You know, Hungary, I don't think we can thank the Hungarian track for that. But, man, what a Grand Prix. So much shit went down. So much to talk about. From what I remember, my reactions were pretty fucking crazy to everything that happened. So, yeah. Anyways, let's start off with the race highlights and discuss all from those. My videos keep getting copyright strike because I keep leaving portions of the video's audio in. So I need to, like, pause when I'm talking. So, yeah, let's go. What an absolute mess. Now, we'll see it in the replays in a second, but Bottas just locking up, mistake. He's so bad in the wet. I mean, Bottas has historically been so bad in the wet. It's crazy. Yeah, just braking super late, makes a mistake, takes out Lando, which takes out Perez and Max. In my opinion, if you make a mistake that bad that ruins that many people's races, you should get a pretty harsh penalty, in my opinion. We've seen Grosjean in previous years at Belgium. I can't remember what year, but he had that massive first lap crash. You got a race ban. I don't think Bottas should have got a race ban necessarily, but harsh penalties for the next race. But he was doing so well this weekend. He was looking good in practice, had a decent qualifying, and then he just ruins it in the wet. He just needs to get better in the wet. And then the other culprit, fucking Stroll, exact same thing. So late on the brakes, just trying all he can to make up as many plays as he can off the start. Locks up, tries to avoid hitting people in front of him, and just completely clatters Leclerc, which ends up hitting Ricciardo as well. And at this point, a lot of the big names are out of the Grand Prix. All we've got left is Lewis and Sainz, honestly, really, and Gasly. But Gasly is so far at the back. You could argue Alpine and Aston Martin were teams up there to be the big teams, but at this point in the race, I'm thinking some teams are going to get a lot of points that they're never going to get at any other Grand Prix this season. So, yeah. To think that Lewis Hamilton, like, it's nothing to do with Lewis. It's just, he's so lucky, man. To think that all the big dogs got taken out except for Lewis is absolutely insane. For people who don't know, you're not allowed to change the chassis of the car too much. So Red Bull couldn't put a new side pod on, couldn't put a new floor on. Not to mention, Max literally lost most of his floor anyway. It's unrepairable in the amount of time they had. So yeah, they literally just tried their best with duct tape, and they did a pretty good job. They gave him a car that had probably the same downforce and aero as like a Haas, but yeah, not enough could be done to his car to fix it to get solid points. Here it is. They go out. Now, under red flags, I'm 99.99% sure you can change tires. But for some reason, they all went out on Inter tires. Like, did someone not think to check the track to see if it was dry? Like, hello? Because at this point, I could tell it's pretty dry. That's almost, you may as well start dries. But everyone started on the Inters. Now, this is big balls from Ocon, honestly. To be the one, whether it was his team or him, to be the, the car to make the jump. Maybe everyone was planning to go dries because it was the best decision. But for Ocon to be in second position and to take, I guess, somewhat of a risk in comparison to Hamilton, big balls to do that. And then everyone pits. Every single person except Hamilton. This is fucking hilarious, honestly. Everyone in the pit lane and Hamilton is on the track by himself. Literally a we races one moment. It was, oh man. Now Toto after the race says, I stand by the decision that we stayed out. He's literally, what is Toto saying? Like, can he not own a mistake? Like, there was no benefit to staying out. He's literally saying the decision they made was right. It was not right. Fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, that was wrong. And to think Bottas was out of the race, there was no issue with double stacking. I don't know what Toto's on. And at this point, I'm thinking, yo, my man's is actually probably going to hoon off and you know, it's not going to be too big of a deal. But we're thinking, yo, Russell V2, let's go. So essentially, his pit box is here, right? He should have came out into these guys, but he decided to use the whole pit lane, which he's allowed to do normally. But because it's a red flag restart and there's heaps of people, you're not allowed to do this. He was trying to be a bit cheeky, but he got the places back. Thankfully, he didn't get a penalty, so that's all good. This would have been so tough for Lewis, just seeing all these cars going past and him coming out on last. He ends up whinging a lot on the radio, and I don't get why he did this, because his championship rival had a fucking duct tape car 1 second in front of him, and he's whinging on the radio like the race is over. Like, someone at Mercedes just needed to come on the radio and be like, Lewis, shut the fuck up. Your rival has a duct tape car. He's 1 place in front of you. There's 70 laps to go. Just shut up and drive. Like, I get that's Lewis's way of venting and whatever, but like, I don't know, it's not a good image for the team in my opinion. And like, when you're complaining about, you know, the inevitable, it's interesting. He also Lewis made the comment of, come on guys, get on it now, like as if he was like blaming the team for his incident, for that mistake. And it's like, it's 50-50, man. Lewis had to have a pair of balls as well to be like, hey, the track's dry, we need a pit, you know what I mean? So you can't blame, he's as much to blame as the team on that start there. And this is so tough for Mazepin, dude. What is Alfa Romeo doing? Why are you... I swear some of these button people just panic and they just press the button. This is so tough for Mazepin. I doubt he would have had a good race, but getting retired in the pit lane is not the nicest thing, especially when you're a rookie driver and you're trying to learn wet conditions as well. This has probably impacted Mazepin's future races a lot. And Raikkonen only gets... Think about this. Raikkonen got a 10-second penalty for this. Giovinazzi got a 10-second stop and go for speed in the pit lane. So apparently it's more dangerous to speed in the pit lane than it is to have an unsafe release and retire someone else's car. I don't know where the consistency is with the penalties at the moment. The whole year I've heard people complaining inconsistency, and I've been like, whatever, it's the rules. But like, how is a speeding in the pit lane more dangerous than retiring someone in the pit lane? It doesn't make sense to me. This was very, very big brain from Lewis. Pitting at this point, yes, the hards could go 50 laps. Don't get me wrong. But I think they prepared to do a 2-stop at this point, because Mercedes are just smart. They're putting him on the hards. They're getting him out of the dirty air. He's going to undercut so many people. And then they know that they're going to 2-stop. So it makes sense to do this because they're not going to stretch the hards 50 laps. Meanwhile, other people pit just a couple of laps later or the lap after and end up doing the 1-stop on hards where it's pretty hard to do. So this is huge brain from Mercedes, honestly. This is what I was talking about. So obviously Lewis pit, undercut them. But these guys reacted. And then they ended up try to go the whole race on hards. But yeah. Didn't work. Oh yeah, that was a 1.8 second pit stop. I missed that live. Let me have a watch. So now getting a bit of track position is Jesus. It was great to see these two battle. You know, a young guy coming up in the ranks, trying to come up in the ranks, and Vettel, 4-time world champion, trying to chase down this young guy. Like, it was great to see these two, like, a different... I mean, Vettel's obviously done it before in previous years, but like, it's great to see two different teams that we don't normally see, two different drivers that we haven't seen in a while at least, battling it out. It was sick. The highlights don't give it justice. These guys did it for like 4 or 5 laps. It was nuts. Yeah, Alonso, that little lockup cost him. I wonder how much longer Alonso would have defended him for if it wasn't for that lockup. Alonso just showed that you can literally be on a shitty tire and defend. If you're good at defending at a track like this, sorry, you know, obviously keep in mind this is a very, very hard track to overtake. But Alonso showed that it can be done. And I would have liked, if he didn't lock up, I would have liked to have known how much longer Alonso would have held him off. And if he would have been able to hold him off for the rest of the 6 laps. And I don't know, Hamilton caught Sainz so quick. Again, Ferrari, we don't really know because Leclerc wasn't in the race, but I mean, you can get a pretty good judge. You can judge it pretty well from Sainz, but like, once again, Ferrari looking like they're gonna have a good weekend, look really, really good on one tire, and then the hard tire, they just sucked. I don't know why. I must say that portion, the sector 1 of Hungary is actually very underrated. I'm not gonna lie, it's so good. You love to see it. And look how close Hamilton was to Vettel. 1 more lap, he had Vettel. 2 more laps, he might have had Ocon. He was so much better on those faster tires at the end. But wow, Lewis can't be disappointed with that at all. Quickly, just to talk about Lewis on the podium at the end there. I see a lot of people saying that Lewis was like just doing this on purpose to make it look like it was a hard drive and blah, blah, blah. And like, literally fuck up, honestly. Man's literally looks like he's about to faint. Like, I have to admit myself, at first, I thought he was like just exaggerating being tired. But then once he picked up the wine bottle and he was like, just look, he's literally spraying it at no one. I was like, dude, this guy's about to collapse. Someone help him. And then Vettel like looks at him and then just like looks away. And I'm like, what? What's Vettel doing? Like, this man's about to faint. I think he's okay now though. Maybe just dehydrated, exhausted, you know, the usual stuff from driving a car like that in a race like that. Obviously, Vettel's gotten a DSQ for the fuel stuff, which we'll talk about in a minute, but he's probably going to get the DSQ removed. We don't know yet. So I don't know if I want to talk about these driver standings or the updated ones of Vettel's getting the DSQ. So I'm just not even going to worry about it right now. All right, let's do our usual driver rundown. Ocon, fantastic race. I mean, I still stand by it. He's having a poor season right now, especially for someone who's just signed a 4-year deal. He definitely needs to continue these performances for the rest of the season. Obviously not winning a race, but, you know, beating his teammate, you know, keeping drivers like Vettel behind him for an entire race. He needs to keep it up. Vettel, great drive, honestly. I'm surprised he didn't get past Ocon, honestly. I feel like Aston Martin looked like the better car, looked like he had more pace, maybe just a tough track to overtake. They were very equal, to be honest. Vettel had a few goes in him, which was good to see. Now, the big talking point is obviously Vettel, after the race, has been disqualified, but news is now that he's probably going to get that removed. So to explain what's happened, pretty much Vettel, at the end of the race, you need to have a litre of fuel to be able to provide to the FIA so they can do their test, right? But Aston Martin were pushing so hard to catch Ocon, they used too much fuel. And FIA weren't able to extract 1 litre of fuel. But Aston Martin is saying there is 1.7 litres or something of fuel in the car. It's just in the pipes and all that shit. So they're going to rip open the car, get it out of the pipes, give a litre to the FIA, and should have the DSQ overturned. So we're going to have to wait and see for that. I see a lot of people saying, oh, what a shitty rule. You know what I mean? You lose out a race because you didn't have enough fuel in your car by like a few millimeters or a few liters or whatever. And I'm like, what? Rules are rules. You know what I mean? Everyone knows these rules. They've been doing it in Formula One for many, many, many years. It's to stop people from cheating. Maybe Aston Martin should have been aware of how much fuel they were using and should have told Vettel to coast a little bit to save a little bit of fuel. Yeah, it's tough for Vettel if he does end up getting his DSQ does end up staying for the race. It's tough, and it's tough for Aston Martin. But at the end of the day, rules are rules, and if you can't supply a litre of fuel to the FIA at the end of the race, then you're going to face the consequences. Maybe if you don't want to get a penalty, you shouldn't use up all your fuel. Simple. Lewis Hamilton, great drive. I see a lot of people being like, oh, well, 3rd place is expected for Mercedes. But let's remember, my man's fucked up at the start, was on the wrong tyre, pitted, came out in dead last at Hungary of all tracks. Him and Mercedes did a great job of pitting at the right time for those hards, undercutting the cars that they needed to, getting through the field, doing the 2-stop, coming back, getting Alonso, getting Sainz. If Alonso hadn't done such a fantastic job, Lewis probably would have won that race. I mean, look how close he finished to Vettel in the end, and probably would have got Ocon in a couple more laps as well. Sainz, fantastic drive. He did exactly what he needed to do, get as much points as he can for Ferrari, considering both McLarens were pretty much out of the race. He needed to deliver points for that Constructors' Championship, which he did. Alonso, my driver of the day, everyone else's driver of the day. What a race from Alonso. Defending Lewis like he did for how many laps was fantastic to see. And he also caught Sainz at the end there as well, only 6/10 off. Pierre Gasly and Yuki both getting some solid points there. Gasly had a good race considering he was at the back after that whole pit lane crap that went on. But yeah, he lost out, you know, starting best of the rest and then dropping all the way to the back and then finishing where he started or just around where he started was a pretty good result for Gasly, I'm not going to lie, and getting fastest lap. Now, I want to talk about Yuki though. Yuki at the front of the grid after the pit lane stuff and Gasly at the back. Gasly ended up coming through the field and passing Yuki, whereas Yuki dropped behind his teammate. It just goes to show, I mean, why Gasly is the main driver for this team right now and why Yuki is, you know, it shows Yuki's underperforming. He also finished 12 seconds behind Gasly. I mean, I'm not really happy with Yuki's performances right now, not to mention his crash in free practice 1 right now. I think if Yuki continues this form for the rest of the season, I could see him getting dropped, to be honest. I mean, I see Addy saying they let Gasly pass Yuki, but he still finished 12 seconds behind him. It's no excuse, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be dropping that many places while your teammate gains that many places, you know what I mean? It just shows how much Tsunoda is underperforming. Yes, Gasly is a better driver, and Yuki is a rookie, but I still feel like he's underperforming. But he still had a good race. It just goes to show how much he is below his teammate right now, though. Now, the Williams boys, you love to see it. Latifi getting 4 points, Russell getting 2 points at the moment. Great drive for the Williams guys, delivering where they needed to, finishing in front of a Red Bull, which was pretty crazy in my opinion. I still thought Max was going to get past them with his broken car, And you just saw how much it meant to Russell. We'll probably see it on Reddit in a minute, how much it meant to Russell getting those points. He's been trying for 3 years, and they not only got points, they both got points, and it was 6 points, which puts them up 3 places in the Constructors Championship. Absolutely insane stuff. Yeah, Max, I mean, fucking killed. Not much he could do. He tried his best with his broken car. I thought he was going to do better, to be honest, but I guess the car was too damaged. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, the Alfa Romeos, having a bit of a shitty weekend. You know, penalties, didn't do much. Wasn't expected they were going to do much in those cars anyway. Same with Schumacher. I mean, you know, he's at the back of the grid in a Haas at Hungary, not going to do much. And Ricciardo obviously getting very unlucky with the damage, but then again, he didn't look like he was going to have a good weekend anyway. But if he didn't have that crash or didn't have that damage, who would have known where he would have finished in the end? So real quick, we got to talk about the mask for Sebastian Vettel. Great stuff. Good on him. For anyone who doesn't know, Hungary, the country, and their laws do not have a same-sex marriage law, but not only that, they've got anti-LGBTQ laws, or whatever you want to call it. Essentially, like in schools, they can't teach you about LGBTQ stuff and all that. So both Vettel and Hamilton were they used their voice a lot this weekend, voiced their opinions on how the Hungarian government should change their ways. In no way were they disrespectful to Hungarian people or Hungary as a country. All they did was they spoke up. I stand by it as well. I mean, a country should never have restrictions on who people should love, you know what I mean? And that's just my opinion. But Lewis and Seb were giving their opinions on it.
It was a disaster.
Yeah, I would say that as well, dude. I'd say that as well. Oh, man. All right, let's get into our Reddit recap. So, top of the week. I'm going to assume there's probably a lot this week with how crazy the Grand Prix was. So if it would load, then we can get into it. To all this beautiful country, Hungary, ahead of the Grand Prix this weekend, I want to share my support for those affected by the government's anti-LGBTQ plus laws. It is unacceptable, cowardly, and misjudging for those in power to suggest such a law. Everyone deserves to have the freedom to be themselves, no matter who they love or how they identify. I urge the people of Hungary to vote in the outcome referendum to protect the rights of the LGBTQ plus community. They need the support more than ever. Please show the love for those around you who, because love will always win. Sending you positivity. Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Lewis has said it pretty much perfectly. Look at this camera work. I mean, this is got nothing to do with Formula 1, but look at this beautiful camera, dude. Whoever set this up is sick. A moving camera that goes through the fences. Oh my lord, is that dope. And it goes all the way around the track with the cars. So cool. Oh my lord. They need to add this into Formula 1, dude. Holy shit, that'd be so sick. Formula 1 need to do a bit more experimenting. I know Baku they did a bit of experimenting, but I feel like they could do way more for how big their company is. Hamilton and Verstappen cross paths in the paddock. You'd love to see people taking stuff out of context and making it look worse than it is. The actual video is them walking past each other, looking at each other, and like nodding to each other. So yeah, I love the drama. I love when people over exaggerate the drama. Can we please have more Nico Rosberg commentary? I felt like it made a nice change, and Nico gave some great insights during the race. I don't think Brundle was bad either, but I cannot stand Crofty at all. Yeah, I love Rosberg. I'll be honest though, I'm not a big fan of his commentary. I think he is an S tier. If for people who remember when I did my pundit tier list, he was S tier for me. I absolutely love his analysis. I love when he does practice. He's really, really good at he's just really good at podcast talking, just chilling, chatting, giving information. I love it. I love it. But his commentary isn't the best. I think if you gave him some time, he'd improve. I mean, he's also German, so English isn't his first language as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I like Rosberg's analysis, but his commentary isn't great. It's a bit slow and steady and whatever, but yeah, Rosberg did do a good job for, I think, like one of his first time commentating as far as I'm aware. Today, my little rental cart race, I managed to get a picture of Roman Grosjean, who happened to be there. If you follow him on Insta, you'll know why he was there, but that felt really cool meeting him, and I thought I'd share. Oh, that's sick. I love to see when like drivers, celebrities, famous people go to more smaller events. It's so nice for the kids and for people who are trying to come up in the scene for whatever it may be. Hungarian Grand Prix trophies. Am I the only one who think these look so shit? I mean, yeah, cool, it's unique, but like, who wants to win that? That's so fucking dead. $1 million sport and I win something that like I'd put my ashes in? Lewis Hamilton has launched a charitable foundation called Mission 44 to support, champion, and empower young people from underrepresented groups in the UK. He has pledged $20 million of his personal wealth. That's really cool to see. Lewis is doing a lot of stuff to help the world, I guess you could say. Horn on Hamilton's slow final outlap. He's just backing things up as he doesn't want to give our cars a clean run. It's his right to do that. He's got the track position. restriction, so it won't be a major issue. It's all about tomorrow now. Yeah, I gotta agree with Christian Horner, to be honest. From what I've seen, I think it's just tactics, you know? I mean, if I was Mercedes, if I was Red Bull, if I was Mercedes, I'd do the same thing. If I was Red Bull, I'd overtake them cars. Fuck off, you know what I mean? If I was Red Bull, I'd appeal it, you know? Why not? I'd protest it, I should say. I'm surprised Red Bull didn't protest it, but yeah, if I was Mercedes, I'd do the same thing. It's tactics, and, you know, if you're gonna come out, if you're Red Bull and you're gonna come out last, expect to get dirty air, expect to get held up. That's Red Bull's fault. And now moving forward, they're probably going to try to do the same to Mercedes now. There's Michael Schumacher documentary to be shown on Netflix on September 15th. Yes, this is what we were talking about before. I'm really looking forward to watching this, actually. It'll be really, really good to see. I wonder if it's about his career or if it's about his life now, you know what I mean? Or I wonder if it's a mix of both. Either way, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Race winner Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso celebrating Parc Ferme after the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's so cool to see. Nice bowling game. So frustrating. Did Charles actually tweet this? Yo, 200k likes? What the fuck? I don't even know Charles tweeted this. What the fuck? McLaren's 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix poster. Oh, that's sick. I can't be bothered dealing with the media hype after the crash. I prefer focusing on the next race. Yeah. Fuck, can you imagine being Max or Lewis after last week? Who could be asked? Yeah, Russell coming on the radio saying, if you need to compromise my race for Nicky, please do it. Prioritize Nicky. You could just tell, again, Russell is there for the team right now, and he's not fighting for a championship, so he wants to get as many points as he can for the team. Constructors with the most hat tricks. Pole plus fastest lap plus win. Okay, Ferrari 87, Mercedes 54, Williams 52, McLaren 51, Lotus 26, Red Bull 25. Oh, okay. Esteban Ocon has now led more laps than Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Valtteri Bottas during the 2021 season. What a god. Oh my god. I just spoke to Max Verstappen. He stressed that almost all team bosses and drivers called him after the crash in Silverstone to ask how he was doing. Toto Wolff, however, has not been in touch. I feel like that's cap, to be honest. You're telling me all the other bosses called him. Having been lucky enough to watch Albon go through Maggots and Beckett's Pirelli testing from a Silverstone grandstand, I'm begging the question, why the F can we not have a stationary camera positions through the craziest corners? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't want the whole broadcast to be stationary, but just like cut to it every now and then would be cool. Scuderia, Ferrari, trucks at the Hungaroring. Fuck me, there's so many of them. I guess there's a lot to bring to the track. The Verstappen crash engine was sent to Japan for overhaul. Components were changed, but none of the limited ones. It will be tested on Friday in Hungary to verify it's okay for to continue for the season. Yeah, they just had the money to send a fucking engine to Japan. Aston Martin, Iron Pride. Beautiful helmet from Vettel. Actually quite nice. Bernd Maylander watching the Hungarian Grand Prix in the safety car yesterday. Oh, I thought he was going to be like at the back watching Lewis. Okay. Interesting fact. If Mercedes now replace Bottas with Russell, they never have to serve a 5-grid penalty. Oh, man. Can you imagine that? They do a mid-season swap for Russell and Bottas just to get rid of the 5-place grid penalty. Holy shit. That'd be big brain stuff. Holy crap. Great McLaren MCL 35M floor photo. We're done. We're down to 2.5k range. Let's move on to F1 play. Yeah. Bit of a rough week. But I think a lot of people had a rough week, so there's not too much to worry about. I'm trying to think what people could have done to have a better team this week. If you had Red Bull, you're going to have Perez retiring and Max getting barely any points. If you pick Mercedes, you're going to have Bottas retiring, and you probably can't even afford that anyway. If you had Ferrari, you had Leclerc retiring, and Sainz getting some decent points. If you pick McLaren, you had double no pointers. If you picked AlphaTauri, you're getting two. AlphaTauri would have been a shout, and Alpine would have been a shout. But who would have picked Alpine and AlphaTauri, you know what I mean? No matter what, you're going to have drivers in here. I'll be honest, unless you're doing complete dog shit this season and you've got the shittest team ever, there's no way you're doing good this week. And even if you've done good this week, you're probably in the bin anyway for the rest of the season because your team was so bad. Unless you did some random lucky team. So yeah, this is my team. I went Norris because I'm not even going to go through it because, I mean, all my reasons for picking the drivers don't matter when there's a fucking bowling ball on the track. But yeah, it seems like we got some decent points for Ferrari because of Sainz and some decent points from Russell. My turbo driver gave me extra points because of him retiring. So yeah, it would have been nice to turbo Russell, but that was never going to happen. So yeah, let's just go straight to the league, see how everyone else did. All right, so in ninth, I think we've dropped a little bit. So leading is still T-Mac. So his team, he got 82 this week. Wow, 50, almost 50 more than me. So he had Sainz and turbo driver. Yeah, I swapped out Sainz for Leclerc because obviously Leclerc fan, and I thought Leclerc would do better than Sainz. He had Verstappen, which was 8 points, Russell 16, Red Bull. So that's where I got a little bit more of a jump on him, but the turbo driver on Signs was a very, very good very good pick. Who had the best team of this week? It was Eric with 166. Let me guess. He had the best team of this week with Verstappen. He picked Bottas, but he retired. Alonso turbo driver, Vettel, Schumacher, and Alpine. But let me guess. He's probably like nowhere to be seen in the championship, right? 108. See what I mean? Exactly what I said. If you had a good enough team this week, you probably are in the mud for the rest of the season anyway. On to F1 play now. Hungary, I got 1 out of 10 as expected. No one got anything above 5 out of 10. That's crazy. We only had 0.10% get 4 out of 10, 1% get 3 out of 10. The majority was with me on 1 out of 10. Dude, that is, I've not seen an F1 play like this ever. That is interesting. Anyways, let's look at my picks. Again, my reasonings do not matter with fucking bowling ball. We got the leader wrong. I thought Lewis was going to win. I thought Max was going to get second. I thought Bottas was going to get third. I thought Max was going to get the fastest lap. I thought Leclerc was going to finish the highest in Q1. I thought Alonso was going to finish the highest out of Q2. I could have got that right. I went with Alonso just because I thought his race pace was going to outpace Ocon, but in the end, Ocon, I guess he got lucky, but he was also in front of Alonso to begin with, so maybe I should have just gone with Ocon for that. First retire, I just had a feeling Gasly was going to retire, ended up being Bottas. I said 16 people were going to finish, ended up being 14. I said there was going to be a safety car, so my only pick right this week was the safety car, and then I said the winning margin was going to be 2 to 4. It ended up being 0 to 2. So yeah, let's see how everyone else in my league did. T-Mac, what is T-Mac doing? He's leading fantasy and he's the #1 picker for F1 play 2 weeks in a row. Okay, 3 out of 10 for T-Mac, the only one. Dr. Milheimer, James, and Stev all getting 2 out of 10. A lot of 1 out of 10 pickers, and then a lot of people either getting 0 or not doing their picks. That, guys, is going to conclude the Grand Prix review for Hungary. Yeah, what a fantastic Grand Prix it was. Nothing to thank the Hungaroring for. I don't think it had anything to do with the track, but more just how Formula 1 could be. Craziness. Anything can happen. Anyone who goes into it goes into Grand Prix with the mindset of this track's going to be bad or this Grand Prix is going to be bad is so dumb. We've now our 2 best Grand Prix of the season, arguably France and Hungary. Who would have thought that going to France and Hungary would have been our 2 best Grand Prix of the season? That's crazy. It just goes to show how great Formula 1 can be and how great this season is. But yeah, we've now sadly got a 4-week break, or technically 3 weeks, until the next Grand Prix, the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm really, really looking forward to it. We've got a triple header: Belgium, Netherlands, and then Italy or Monza, where we'll have the sprint format back again, which I don't like, but it's hype. Yeah, when we return, we'll have a whole new graphic package for the watch along, so I'm going to be keen for that. But yeah, guys, that concludes the Grand Prix review. I appreciate you all watching. Tune on in. But yeah, same time, same place in 4 weeks' time for the Belgian Grand Prix. We'll be doing a watch along on stream for every session. A watch along for the race, build up before the race, and the post race show as well. Yeah, our usual Grand Prix review on the Monday, which I'll upload on the YouTube channel on Wednesday. So yeah, I appreciate you guys all tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.